Hello future CS, welcome back to my channel again, your ultimate guide to cracking the CA exams. So today we are diving into the CA Inter Advanced Accounting Revision Test Paper for January 2025. In this video we'll be solving those tricky MCQs that can make or break your score. So grab your pen and notebook and let's decode these questions together. And if you are new here, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more guidance on your CA journey. So let's start this video. So in the revision test paper of January 2025, here I have part 1 multiple choice questions based on case scenario. So the first question. So let's read out this question first. Surya Limited has two fixed assets. FA1 is being carried in the balance sheet for rupees 600 lakhs and FA2 is being carried at rupees 300 lakhs. As at 31st March 2024, the value in use for FA1 is rupees 500 lakhs and the net selling price is rupees 550 lakhs. The company did upward revaluation last year for rupees 20 lakhs for FA1. As at 31st March 2024, the value in use for FA2 is rupees 350 lakhs and the net selling price is rupees 320 lakhs. First, let's note down the important key points from this question. So as we go ahead in this video, I recommend you all to pause the video at relevant places and do the written practice of writing this answer along with me, as written practice will help you in enhancing your writing skill and speed. It is very important to write legibly and fast in the exam to complete the paper within the stipulated time frame. So first we have FA1, carrying amount rupees 600 lakhs. Value in use rupees 500 lakhs. Net selling price rupees 550 lakhs. And there was an upward revaluation of rupees 20 lakhs. Now coming to FA2, carrying amount rupees 300 lakhs, value in use rupees 350 lakhs, net selling price rupees 320 lakhs. So these are the key points given in the question. Now let's see what are the MCQ for this. So the first question is, how much is the total impairment loss for the current year for FA1? So actually this question is based on accounting standard 28, that is impairment of assets. So for FA1, the total impairment loss is computed as follows. So the carrying amount is rupees 600 lakhs. Value in use is rupees 500 lakhs. And the net selling price is rupees 550 lakhs. So first we will have to compute the recoverable amount. So the recoverable amount is higher of value in use and net selling price. So in this case, since the net selling price is greater than the value in use, the net selling price will be the recoverable amount. So the recoverable amount is rupees 550 lakhs. Now coming to computation of impairment loss. Impairment loss is carrying amount minus the recoverable amount. So in this case, the carrying amount is rupees 600 lakhs and the recoverable amount is rupees 550 lakhs. Hence the impairment loss is rupees 50 lakhs. So the answer for this MCQ is option number 2, 50 lakhs. Now coming to the next MCQ. How much impairment loss will be charged to the profit and loss account for the current year for FA1? So since in the current year the FA1 was revalued by rupees 20 lakhs, the impairment loss should be first reduced from the revaluation surplus before being charged to the P&L account. So the impairment loss charged to P&L account will be computed as follows. Total impairment loss is 50 lakhs and revaluation surplus available is 20 lakhs. That is, the FA1 was revalued upward by rupees 20 lakhs. Hence, impairment loss charged to P&L account will be total impairment loss minus the revaluation surplus available. That is rupees 50 lakhs minus rupees 20 lakhs, which is equal to rupees 30 lakhs. So the correct answer in this case is option number 3, 30 lakhs. Now coming to the next MCQ. How much is the total impairment loss for the current year for FA2? So carrying amount of FA2 is rupees 300 lakhs. Value in use is rupees 350 lakhs. And net selling price is rupees 320 lakhs. So in this case, the recoverable amount is higher of value in use and net selling price, that is rupees 350 lakhs. As in this case, the recoverable amount is greater than the carrying amount. There is no impairment loss. The recoverable amount is rupees 350 lakhs and the carrying amount is rupees 300 lakhs. As recoverable amount is more than carrying amount, the impairment loss is nil. So the right answer is option 4, nil. Now coming to the next MCQ. What will be the carrying value as of 1st April 2024 of FA1? So the new carrying value of FA1 will be the existing carrying amount minus the impairment loss. So the existing carrying amount is rupees 600 lakhs and the impairment loss is rupees 50 lakhs. Hence the carrying value as of 1st April 2024 will be 550 lakhs. Carrying value is equal to carrying amount minus impairment loss, that is rupees 600 lakhs minus rupees 50 lakhs, which is equal to rupees 550 lakhs. Hence the right answer is first option, rupees 550 lakhs. So these were your case scenario based MCQ in the revision test paper. Apart from this, we also have a general MCQ. So here is the question. The debit or credit balance of foreign currency monetary item translation difference account. There are four options. Is shown as miscellaneous expenditure in the balance sheet, is shown as reserves and surplus as a separate line item, is shown as other non-current in balance sheet, is shown as current assets in the balance sheet. So in the format of Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, no separate line item has been specified for presentation of the foreign currency monetary item translation difference account. Since the balance in this account represents a loss or gain arising from foreign currency monetary item, it cannot be characterized as an asset because it lacks the characteristics of a resource that would provide future economic benefits. As the definition of asset is as a resource which provides future economic benefits. This cannot be classified as an asset since this is a loss or gain arising from foreign currency item. So hence this cannot be classified as an asset. The debit or credit balance in this account should be presented under the equity and liability section of the balance sheet, specifically under the head reserves and surplus as a separate line item. While preparing the financial statement in accordance with Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013. So the right answer is option B. The balance in this account is shown under reserves and surplus as a separate line item. So that's it guys for today's session. I hope these solutions helped clarify your doubts and boost your confidence for the exam. Remember, consistent practice is the key to success. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are also appearing for the CA Inter exams. And also subscribe for more tips and practice sessions to ace your CA Inter exams. All the best with your preparation and I will see you all in the next video.